Hello, Haryana.
It all started 15 years back. Back then, there's a lot of ambiguity. So you don't have a clear space of aesthetic surgery. Back then, it was a plastic surgery, more of reconstructive background,
Okay.
and few people were doing a bit of aesthetic surgery. 2012 to 14, 15. Our economy has grown exponentially. Our stock market's grown, gold rate has grown. So everything has grown. We took that advantage.
So, hello, Haryana.
Hi,
How are you doing?
all good, Ridanshu.
Great. So, I want to start this podcast with asking you about Redefine. So, Redefine, it has become a well-known name in Hyderabad, especially in the cosmetic surgery space. So, I want to know, like, what's the journey behind it, and what's your vision when you put Redefine?
Um, See, it all started 15 years back, Raksha. So back then, there's a lot of ambiguity.
Hmm.
So you don't have a clear space of aesthetic surgery,
Hmm.
whatever we are doing today. So back then, it was a plastic surgery, more of reconstructive background,
Okay.
and few people were doing a bit of aesthetic surgery. So
Hmm.
it was not easy for me to come and start something exclusive
Hmm.
because the industry was not ready then
Hmm.
and people were not aware,
Hmm.
and there was a big myth when I started it. Plastic surgery is not good, or it is
Hmm.
limited to only for movie stars.
Stigma sort of a
Lot
thing.
of stigmas,
Yeah.
lot of stigmas. I'm talking about 15 years back.
Hmm.
So for me, it is I was always clear. So I always wanted to deal on this niche subject,
Hmm.
aesthetic surgery. So initially started my practice with the general plastic surgery like burns. We used to operate cleft lips. I used to do a lot of reconstructive surgery, accidents,
Hmm.
been bit of this, but I always know my heart is always here. So I started a small clinic initially. Then I realized unless I spend time on this, I can never grow.
Hmm.
So one fine day, I stopped all my practice all of a sudden.
Hmm.
So let's say it was giving me 80% of income back then, my
Okay.
regular practice,
Hmm.
and let's say this is giving me 20% of income. So it was a bold move
Hmm.
to stop because I was that is bread and butter for me. To stop something coming with the ease and
Hmm.
going to something which I always passionate about. So it was a
Hmm.
passionate move.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was then we developed with India. I
Right.
always say so. Every industry from 2000 mid last decade, from 2012 to 14, 15, our economy has grown exponentially.
Hmm.
Our stock market's grown, the gold rate has gone. So everything has grown. We took that advantage. How the tech boom took some of the people very rich.
Hmm.
So in this particularly, the economy and the generation literally pushed us.
Right.
So naturally, we have the advantage of the growth.
Hmm.
So we are a part of the growth.
True. True. To be honest, even after Instagram has become a thing, I think the whole misconception has started to disappear a little bit also, with year on year about the whole aesthetic.
Perception of self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. So I want to follow you up with this question. Basically, a lot of doctors, when they usually think of starting a clinic or something, but they usually don't go beyond thinking, beyond a clinic. So I mean, what's the difference between being a doctor who runs a clinic and being a doctor who builds a business? Like, what's the thing that differentiates?
See, to become entrepreneur.
Hmm.
So it's like it works like any other business. Natasha. So you want to pursue the job which is given by corporate company,
Hmm.
or you want to start your own startup.
Hmm.
So we know you choose the later one.
Right.
So you want to establish yourself. So it apply same thing applicable to doctors as well. So there was offer for us for any doctor, which is if you are coming out of good grades
Hmm.
and a good med school, the decent subject, maybe 1 2 years of experience, you get offers from corporates
Okay.
from various sectors.
Hmm.
Probably you get offers to travel abroad.
Hmm.
in good positions, which is very safe. It's a safe,
Yes.
safe bet.
Yes.
It's like a debt for you,
True.
debt investment, and something. This is like a equity. You don't know how it goes.
Right.
You have to have that entrepreneur mindset
Hmm.
and risk taking abilities. So these
Right.
two are the fundamental difference between any mindset. It
Hmm.
works across all the disciplines. So I when I talk, no, because I having an opportunity to move into the business circles, I see the commonalities between all.
Hmm.
So doctors are no different. Someone are risk taking ability with some amount of entrepreneurship,
Hmm.
usually like to do something on their own.
Hmm.
Yes, probably if your father, if parents are not doctors, you don't have the luxury of starting in a big hospital.
Right.
Naturally, you end up starting in a small clinic,
Hmm.
and you understand the space, how it is behaving. Based on that particular time period of whichever city you're growing in,
Hmm.
you need to take a leap.
Hmm.
Always there is a unknown territory when you're going ahead,
True.
because this finance is not in your control, and you definitely you have to take a financial lending from somebody, your parents or banks or friends or whatever it is. Some leverage you have to take it. So you should have all these calculations. So this is go beyond your medical knowledge.
Hmm. It's
Definitely.
like an MBA you need on the side.
Natural MBA. So
Yeah.
some people are born. Let's say if you look
Hmm.
at any Marwadi boys,
Hmm.
maybe they start calculating things from 12 to 13 years age.
Hmm.
That's how they're trained.
Right.
So depends. Some people are born entrepreneurs, so they naturally tend to go towards uh, starting independently, establishing their own practice, and grew up themselves into small hospitals, and that are part of the big hospital,
Hmm.
or they may create a network hospitals like what Medicover has happened today.
Hmm. Hmm.
And all major hospitals which looking at Hyderabad today are all started as a small 30-40 bedded hospitals or 40 bed hospitals.
Okay.
Now they grew up with 7,000 bed space and 8,000 bed space.
So, is there a scope for a doctor to get into other sectors of healthcare business other than building a hospital and scaling it up? Are there any other segments that?
Parallels.
Yes.
So see, you need to choose your line of which stream you want to pursue. If you really want to be as a healthcare provider,
Hmm.
you really need to do the job. You can't do two things at a time.
Hmm.
Otherwise, if you want to pursue your managemental side,
Hmm.
you probably you can be part of growth of multiple hospitals or multiple chains, because
Hmm.
every space required today, every corporate needs someone from medical background to grow them independently, the business side.
Okay.
So now you really have to segregate yourself where your heart goes, who
Right.
you are exactly. So
Right.
that comes with the self introspection, and you
Hmm.
need to ask yourself who you are inside. Are you a kind of businessman,
Hmm.
or are you a passionate health giver, service oriented?
Hmm.
Some people are born to do service, so
Hmm.
they really want to have the patient experience, the
Hmm.
clinical experience,
Hmm.
touch and feel of the human.
Right. Right.
So that, see, if that case of scenario, probably you should be in the clinical practice. If
Okay.
you are a businessman
Hmm.
by default,
Hmm.
you happen to push towards med school,
Hmm.
definitely you should pursue something in the management side. You have a lot of opportunities.
So there are relevant courses also that they can get into
Yeah,
it.
they can join in your MBAs and your ISBs offering, IM is offering today,
Hmm.
and all the business schools in the world right now treat medical degree as a basic degree, and you can always pursue the
Management
management courses. Yeah,
studies.
absolutely,
Amazing,
absolutely.
amazing. So I see that beyond Redefine, you also have a strong personal brand of yours also as a celebrity surgeon. So honestly, personal branding is something that has become a big topic recently, but also among doctors also. But you've built your brand long before this was even a trend. I mean, so can you give some tips or things to be careful of or ways to get your personal branding growing in the contemporary times?
Yeah. So at least when we back again 5, 6, 10 years back, so you have no one to advertise for yourself. You have to advertise yourself.
Hmm.
No one, you don't have a budget to get someone on board as
Hmm.
an actor on board and to advertise for you.
Hmm.
You don't have that luxury.
Hmm.
So you have to speak your content out. You have to show what you have. And first of all, mine was a very niche subject.
Hmm.
So people in the medical subject field itself don't know what exactly I do.
Hmm.
So I understand the common man won't know what you. Let's say you go to hotel
Hmm.
and you don't know what he serves.
Right.
So you, let's say if you put a video there explaining what dishes you have,
Hmm.
so how convenient for a person to understand it.
True.
So that's what every person, every entrepreneur in my time has done that. So I am one among them. So brand naturally when your business and you grow together.
Hmm.
So you naturally become brand ambassador for your own business,
Hmm.
and your business can be is an integral part of you. You
Right.
can't be like it's inseparable.
Right.
In a way, it is not a great thing right now. Let's say if you're looking for really to be independent,
Hmm.
you cannot. Now you
Hmm.
can. It's now off late. I'm trying to dissociate myself from the brand. Let
Okay.
alone brand grow. Like a brand has become like a baby.
Right.
You have to allow it to grow on itself.
True.
Yeah, you have to do
You
let
should
it go.
automate it.
So that probably is challenging now. So
Hmm.
which I'm trying right now.
Okay.
So I'm trying to establish brand away from myself. I
Okay.
can be face of it,
Hmm.
but my wish is let the brand speak on itself. So
Right.
I cannot talk all the time for a Redefine. Let
Exactly.
Redefine establish on its own entity.
Hmm.
Like
So
any other true entrepreneur should pray that business should grow like a baby and it become independent on itself.
exactly, that's actually very true. Uh, and maybe then you can focus on building your personal brand and diversifying it.
Diversify and help others to build their brands and see now the biggest kick you get it is uh, to help someone like you because you have a journey.
Hmm.
The most morning I was yesterday I was listening to Naval Ravikant podcast with Joe Rogan. So most of these true entrepreneurs now they all talk about journey.
Hmm.
Achievement is a very small thing.
True.
Achievement is very small. Let's say you go to Tirupati, you climb all the whole hills and you finally you make your darshan. You darshan part is let's say less than 2 minutes. That actual darshan.
2 minutes is a big thing,
Yeah, all
honestly.
in and out.
yeah.
Basically, your journey from footsteps to there
Hmm.
is less more than 5 to 6 hours.
True.
So let's say you went with the family and the whole journey you enjoy.
Hmm.
Actually, if you look at it, the what you witness inside the room
Hmm.
is negligible. That's what
Hmm.
I call as success.
Right.
So success has a very little meaning.
Hmm.
All we speak is how whole process went on, how you achieved it,
True.
and I wish it to be longer and more meaningful. Then success is naturally become meaningful.
Hmm. That's actually very well put. Apart from being a doctor, you're also an angel investor.
Yeah.
So do you primarily invest only in like healthcare startups, or are there any other domains also you're interested in?
So as an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
now I realized. So someone like me who's actually working his business. So now I want to identify who is working hard and who is able to grow the businesses. So now you're done your job as entrepreneur and you grow your business at an extent. It is somehow I feel I wish to identify someone like me in different domains, not
Hmm.
necessarily that healthcare.
Hmm.
So there we are strictly looking at ROI. So and definitely when I understand businesses, definitely I look healthcare as one of the choices.
Hmm.
Definitely, but I don't. I my investments went in legal fintech,
Okay.
yeah, legal fintech and fintech and medical tourism.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of diversifying. One advertisement company recently
Okay.
I invested in. So I'm trying to understand the vision of the the main guy,
Hmm.
the, the whoever started founder, and if I'm happy with the kind of vision he's giving and he is confident about it, and with the HA we already so fortunately that HA does some preliminary,
Hmm.
yeah, so they go through the complete numbers, finances,
Hmm.
they do audit before they present to us.
Hmm.
They do all the due diligence. That's why we save little time.
Okay.
Otherwise it's not easy to pick up randomly.
Right.
So once they give a filtered people
Hmm.
and who has got some credentials
Hmm.
and some certifications
Hmm.
and some proof of
Hmm.
what they've done.
Hmm.
Let's say people typically companies come at 2 to 3 years of stage,
Hmm.
some at least some numbers which is displaying. That gives a lot of leverage for us. So it
Okay.
really shortens my time.
Hmm.
Even if I spend hour time or 2 hours time in entire month, I'll able to identify at least one or two companies.
Okay, great. So, as you said, you're part of Hyderabad Angels. I want to know what kind of businesses are usually, considered. Uh, what level they have to be, and what segments usually, what domains do they have to come from?
Absolutely everything on the earth.
So,
So the
coming from an early stage startup to,
yeah. So see, basically, you should have the structure around it.
hmm,
You can't randomly go and pitch like your neighborhood.
hmm,
Definitely, there has to be structure.
hmm,
You have to do the proper pitch deck,
hmm,
and you, as a founder, as a co-founder, they should know what they're talking about, and your numbers has to be strong.
hmm,
Idea is not sufficient here. Now you're
right,
trying to in a selling mode.
hmm,
You're selling your idea.
hmm,
You should exactly know in and around of the numbers, and you should have a clarity on your vision.
okay,
So any angel, forget about me, there will be grilling. So
okay,
because they want to really safeguard the money.
yeah, yeah,
So who doesn't want, who want to throw the money?
true,
As an angel,
hmm,
when I'm trying to put a bet, the calculated risk I'm taking, I would invest on someone who knows the numbers well,
right,
who knows his business well,
right,
and who understand the space.
hmm,
Let's say I have an idea which is outdated now. Though it's the best idea, I really cannot invest on it anymore because already your competitor has already done the job.
hmm,
That's the reason speed is important.
speed, yeah,
Whoever is coming today, if you delay for 6 months, there could be some technology which outbeats you.
true,
So time, speed, precision, math. These are very, very important for any entrepreneur.
for the founders also,
Founders,
yeah,
especially for the
yeah,
founders.
yeah,
Angels, once you are in the list of angels, let's say
hmm.
you HA is invested, Mobile Angels invested, then kind of they see
It sort of
naturally
gives you the credibility,
credibility one and the leverage you get
hmm,
through, and you have a knowledge and wisdom from the various discipline. Let's say someone from healthcare, I
hmm,
can really connect them to the best of the people in the country
right,
in that space.
hmm,
So we have a similar people from software, some fintech. We have various people who are sitting on the angel boards.
right,
So these guys are really, really give you the foresight which as a normal young founder cannot see.
hmm,
So that I think that's something people can take advantage of it. Though it may not be so huge funding, though even the little amount
hmm,
will give you credential to you.
right,
So that brings a lot of leverage and attention to the company.
hmm. So, I want to ask, even from a startups perspective also, nowadays everyone is looking to raise. So, what should a startup look for in an investor rather than going blindly with anyone?
See, anyone with the proof is easy to sell. So if you are a startup, you have a really believe your idea, you prove yourself for a short time
Hmm,
in a small scale.
hmm,
Let it be a, you don't, I'm not asking you to raise up huge numbers. Even this little number, little drill
hmm,
for a 6 months to 1 year could be rural, wherever you are trying to do that.
hmm,
Establish, no, that gives a lot of credibility to you.
right,
Just selling an idea without being experimenting
hmm,
may not be a good idea to anyone.
true,
You have to prove yourself as entrepreneur. You're coming to going to angels only to take it up, not to
hmm,
sell off.
true, true,
Yeah, if selling off is making money is your idea,
hmm,
better you can earn somewhere else.
true, true,
Let's not someone should not go to angels for that.
hmm,
Making money should never be idea to any founder in at least in early stages.
okay,
You grow your company, your idea should be leverage because you, as an individual you don't have that leverage.
hmm,
You're taking the leverage of somebody's wealth
hmm,
because they trust you, and you
yeah,
have to really show them.
true,
Then the whole trust builds in this ecosystem.
true, true. So, as a startup, uh, if I'm looking for one investor, they are going to be part of my company. So, what characteristics should I keep in mind before deciding on one investor?
See, investor should not be friendly to you. He's not going to
Okay,
help you.
okay,
Investor should grill you, and investor should question you.
hmm,
Investor should add value to you.
hmm,
Money is just not a thing which you are looking at it right now. You are looking with knowledge and some kind of contribution,
hmm,
some guidance,
hmm,
some mentorship.
right,
So if you have three choices, whoever is giving you the mentorship and some guidance, and if at all they have the domain expertise, whichever
Hmm.
domain you are looking at it, that should he'll be the choice of the investment for me. If I were you, I'll pick from the same domain,
Hmm.
someone who has already done and did in the past.
Hmm.
Maybe a little variability is okay.
Hmm.
Definitely that adds a lot of value. The connects, which
Hmm.
I probably take 4 years, 5 years for me,
Hmm.
so I'll be getting the first year itself.
First year itself, yeah.
Definitely, I can shorten my journey.
Hmm.
So I look that.
So it's not only about the money, but it's about the value addition also.
Absolutely, your crew, your board should be stronger.
Right. True. True. That's very valid. And from an investor's perspective, I want to know what are some red flags that you see in entrepreneurs, and you'll be like, no, I'm not going to go with him. I mean, what can entrepreneurs learn from these red flags? I mean, we want to be prepared when we go out there. So,
Greed,
okay,
greed. First of all, you shouldn't be greedy.
you shouldn't be greedy and you shouldn't show it.
Show, yeah. Basically, let's talk about the fact.
Hmm.
Shouldn't be greedy.
Right.
It will be shown sometime,
Yeah.
and no quick bucks.
Hmm.
You and there's no shortcut for the hard for the success.
Hmm.
So that is something. Someone is promising. There's no Ponzi scams here.
Hmm.
You cannot grow inorganically.
Hmm.
You, it can be a brilliant idea in the world,
Hmm.
but there is a way, organic way, and
Right.
you will have a competition. You always find your unique space, and someone, no, any entrepreneur will look into that.
Hmm.
Someone should not be greedy, should not overpromise, and
Hmm.
then under promise and over deliver. That's
Right.
always any entrepreneur will enjoy it.
True.
And an entrepreneur, it's the same thing. I think that makes, even if you're an entrepreneur, you'll also do the same thing. You'll
Hmm.
also invest the same thing. Why do you
Right.
invest in something which is promising too much?
Hmm.
You may attract some clients, but eventually you'll get a bad name.
Right.
Once you can't prove it for a year,
Hmm.
consecutively for something, a couple of years, no matter whatever the excuse you give,
Hmm.
and you have a remark on you.
True. True. Very true. So, can you share about one startup or a business that you have invested in, and how are you convinced to invest in it?
Right now, see, as an individual capacity, I invested in a few companies, friends and families, and other ways. But my investor journey started only 3 years back
Hmm.
through HA. So I not made a exit set. So no
O-
exits I taken
Okay.
right now. That question needs some more time for me because I am not a groomed up or a
Okay.
senior investor. I am a kind of baby investor right now.
So you must have invested in one startup.
Multiple.
Yeah, multiple.
Uh,
So maybe if you can tell about one of them, your most favorite one.
so one of the medical tourism company I
Hmm.
had invested in from Mumbai. So I were taken at 35 CR valuation.
Okay.
So I purchased some share. Now it is grown to mm, almost 85 CR valuation within 2.5 3 years. Definitely, what they promised, they couldn't deliver entirely.
Hmm.
But sometimes, no, it is not just numbers we look at it, we look at the sustainability.
Hmm.
So they sustain a lot of global issues. The company, what, see, every time, no, you keep changing your direction
Hmm.
because when the globe changes its perspective on
Hmm.
one particular domain, you have to change. You should be radical about it. You
True.
can't say that my idea works. No,
Hmm.
you need to rethink, completely go and change your sh-
Yeah.
whole briefcase and come
Start
back.
from once.
Scratch. You should
Yeah.
have that courage.
Yeah.
And there's no ego there.
Hmm.
End of the day, you're a product or service which can make money.
Hmm.
Your idea has no value unless it really gives revenue or some leverage to anyone. So that's way. So these people have done their best. So in
Hmm.
spite of not performing by numbers,
Hmm.
the sustainability we looked at it,
Okay.
and every couple of years you sustain in the domain,
Hmm.
the valuation actually goes high.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's just not the numbers. Sometimes a lot of companies still, maybe for 7 8 years, they don't do any profits. They don't
Yeah.
book any
True.
profits. They're still running losses. But we look at how how much struggle they are putting
Hmm.
to keep the business live.
Right.
They did good job, and I'm happy about it. So a few other companies, I think now I'm trying to go second round investment for the same companies.
Hmm.
Usually they will be the first people to offer when they're
Hmm.
going for
Hmm.
second round before they go to Series B. So I think right now, four investment I made. I think this is the first investment I made. Another three is still they're doing okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great. Good.